What's good, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about how getting lean changes your life. So, right away, I got to tell you, if you're above 15% body fat, then you absolutely need to get as lean as possible quickly. Because being above 15% is going to be detrimental to one, your health, two, relationships, work, people interactions, and three, it's also going to pretty much be a big confidence boost when you get below that. You're going to look better, you're going to feel better, your body's going to function better. All that stuff is really, really important to getting to a lower body fat percentage. So, the first thing we're going to go over is the confidence that you're going to gain. Now, why is this important? Well, through life, when we go and whether we go to work, whether we're, meeting our, I don't know, girlfriends, family for the first time, whether we're going out just shopping and somebody, shakes your hand that whatever it may be, who knows. If you go through life and you have a confident aura about you and you are pleased with how you look, and mostly that comes from, going through the process and all the training and the consistency and, maintaining the physique and building that physique that you've, kind of chiseled out for yourself, the discipline that it takes to do that, that compounds up here in your mind, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of him. I did that. I built this physique. And you go around, and when you speak to people, you can look them in the eyes, you can shake their hand firmly, and people will want to talk to you. Like, for example, I'll have people come up to me, maybe I haven't seen them for a while, or maybe it's a complete stranger, and they'll just comment like, oh, wow, I really like that shirt that you're wearing. Where'd you get it? Or, because I don't know, I was wearing like some shirt from Colorado or something, and this lady, she was also from Colorado apparently, and I was like checking out at a store, and she'd never, before she probably wouldn't have even spoken to me, but then she was here like making this crazy conversation like, oh yeah, I went to University of Colorado, blah, 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 all this stuff, and I was like, oh, cool, and that kind of an interaction where somebody kind of recognizes you or like calls you out and talks to you about something just would never happen before. So just being in that mindset and having that positive aura, that self-confidence, you exude it and people will pick up on that. And somehow in our psychology, I'm no psychologist, but somehow people do pick up to that and they gravitate toward it. So that's really, really interesting. And I think it makes life a lot more enjoyable when you can, when you can make connections like that and just kind of talk to people. And so that happens with men and women, and guys are going to respect you a lot more. They're going to sort of see you as somebody who may be a little bit of an authoritative figure, or at least somebody who, managed to be consistent and you managed to be disciplined for a long amount of time, and people recognize that. And so you'll get more respect from men. And for women, when you go and let's say it's in person, let's say you're on a dating app, you're just going to be received a lot better. When I used to be fat. I was probably about 28. I don't want to say 30, but I was probably high 20s of body fat percentage. And when I was at that stage of my life and my physique, I literally got 17 matches on Tinder in 1 year. And this was back in like 2020, I think it was 2022. But 17 matches, 1 year, whole year, crazy. I was just not well received on the app. In person, I remember there was this chick in college, and it was my senior year. We were like together, we worked together on our senior project or whatever. And at the end, I was like, oh my God, I really want to get her number. I'm going to go approach her. And so I approached her after we finished the project. I was like, oh, I think you're really cute. Can I please get your number? And she was like, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, ah, damn. But I built all this up, and she just rejected me because, well, I look cooked, to put it simply. And that's the reality, is when you kind of look a certain way or give off because I was also really lacking confidence doing that. It took me seeing her every other day pretty much. I guess it wasn't that much, twice a week, whatever. I see this chick twice a week for about 4 months straight, and then I finally built up the courage to go speak to her on the very last day. I mean, come on. So, things like that go a lot smoother. Now if I go speak to a girl, it goes a lot different, it goes a lot better, they're way more receiving, and usually I can at least get like an Instagram or a number or something. But, and I'm not saying every girl's gonna like you, because that's obviously not how the world works, but life is gonna be a lot better in terms of self-confidence and just speaking to people. Now, I kind of rambled a little bit, but going into number two, we're going to talk about your health. So if you are a higher body fat percentage, then your risk for diabetes just simply goes up. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your insulin, you're going to become insulin resistant. And if you do end up getting type 2 diabetes, then you're going to have a whole other plethora of health problems. And obviously it takes a bit of time to get to that point, but we want to completely avoid that. We want to have you not be getting pre-diabetic and then, not having to take pills or insulin or have all those doctor's appointments. It can all be avoided if you just get lean. So your health is critical. You're going to sleep better if you're lean. You're going to be able to perform daily tasks better if you're lean. If you have to go, I don't know, like take out the garbage, you're not going to be out of breath, shit like that. And just in general, you'll feel really, really good. You'll feel, I don't know how to describe it, almost like clean, like you've purged away like all this excess, it is fat, excess fat that you don't need anymore. So once we get to that point, then life is going to become a lot better just in terms of the way we feel and our quality of life. And point number three about getting lean, and I guess I kind of already talked about it, but when we're lean, everything, okay. And so those are the main 2 points the main 3 points really don't want to talk about. I kind of combined. So yeah, so those are pretty much the main benefits of getting lean is just you're going to be received a lot better, you're going to feel a lot better, and you're going to be a lot more confident in yourself. And the confidence and kind of being received goes hand in hand. So another thing that I wanted to touch on is, and this isn't really a business channel at this point, but it really makes a difference if you have a good physique and you're in business, if you're in sales, or really any part like your job even. If you go in, you have a good physique. Like when I have a business and I'm in sales, so I sell people a product a lot of the time, a physical product, and when they come up to me, then if I am in good shape and I'm excited and I have a smile on my face and I feel good, then they're going to be more willing to buy than if I was out of shape and not feeling great in my own skin. And I have had this happen to me when I was out of shape as well. People kind of rejected me a lot more even in sales. So it's crazy how this whole thing, we just perceive people that are in shape to just be maybe better at whatever it is they do, or maybe I don't know, you just think higher of them. I don't know how the psychology of it all works, but it's literally what happens, guys. So being in shape is really important for your job too. And even if you work a 9 to 5, you're going to get respected a lot more by your boss, by your coworkers. They're going to not give you all the shit jobs and kind of like be like, oh yeah, you got to go build this fence and it's going to be 110 degrees outside, which is what happened to me when I used to work a construction job and I always got the shit tasks. And you just kind of get disrespected all the time. The other thing too that I'll mention, and I know I kind of talked about women a little bit, but you're literally invisible to women. Like 17 matches in a year, you're just invisible to women on a dating app. So don't even really, honestly, I wouldn't even bother trying to download a dating app. Just don't worry about that. You got to get lean first. So the next thing you're probably wondering is, okay, how do I get lean then? You're talking about getting lean. What's the process? So number one, you need to be in a calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. But in order to not lose muscle mass, you want to strength train, usually 3 to 4 times a week or more, depending on kind of where you're at in terms of like intermediate and advanced or beginner, whatever it is you're at. The other thing you need to make sure you're doing is hitting your protein goal, usually 0.75 grams of protein per pound of lean mass, or you can, if you're kind of not like super obese, you can just eat whatever per pound. Like usually what I'll do is, at least for me personally, I weigh 153 right now, so I just aim for 150 grams of protein roughly, and it's just fine. I really haven't noticed any muscle loss in my latest cut, so we're good there. But if you do those things, if you do those 3 things, strength train, you're in a calorie deficit, and you're hitting your protein goal, then you're going to start getting shredded, and it'll happen as fast as it's going to happen based on the amount of deficit that you're in. So, and obviously you don't want to go too extreme in that, but you also don't want to only do like a 100 or 200 calorie deficit. Usually I aim for 750, and that gets the job done really well. So those are kind of the components. It's a rough outline. And listen, guys, if you're wanting to get in shape for the summer, summer's soon. Summer's only a couple months away. If you want to be looking good, be feeling good, then click the link down below, book a call. It's completely free. And why don't we see if we're a good fit to work together? And if not, no big deal. Maybe you'll walk away with some extra knowledge. I'm always trying to help people and help people become their best self. So, let's connect through that. And I will see you guys in the next video.